Michelle Prince, founder and CEO of Performance Publishing Group, making a difference one story at a time. We'll be shining the light on successful founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders that are getting results and making a difference. We'll talk about how they built their businesses, are creating movements, and leveraging the power of authority in their own lives. Be sure to stick around to the end of the show, and we'll reveal how you can be our next guest. Let's get started.
Well, welcome to episode 1 of the Power of Authority Spotlight. Michelle Prince, you are normally the host, and well, we get to have you in the interview chair for episode number 1, because I actually would love to hear you explain what this podcast is, for our listener that's listening right now, why they should hit subscribe, why should they tune in, and what they're going to learn from the conversations that you have on this show.
Yeah, you bet, Josh. Thanks so much. Now, I'm excited. The Power of Authority Spotlight, it's really all about shining the light on leaders that are getting results, but in the process, they're also making a difference. We're all on a mission, and, I want to really give the platform to people that are doing great things that maybe want to build a bigger authority platform. And so that's what really the show is all about.
Yeah. And Michelle, what is your background? Like, what do you do professionally?
So I do a couple things. I have a speaking and training business where my background is with Zig Ziglar, and that kind of ties into everything that I do. But I also own a publishing company, and I love helping people to figure out their stories, get it out of their head onto paper, publish it, and then leverage it and really use it as their business card, especially business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, using that book to open up opportunities and build the authority platform.
Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of authority. And can you talk maybe a little bit about why authority is such a powerful currency today?
Yeah, you bet. So I actually wrote a book called The Power of Authority, and it's actually playing.
So you're the right person to answer that question.
Exactly. But it's actually a play on words, and that is, you can't spell authority without author. And I found that, people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And the way for people to get to know, like, and trust you is to have a platform. And you get those platforms when you put your authority out there, right? And we all have our own authority in some way, and it's whether it's personal, professional, but it's just really just attracting the right people to you. But they need to know how you can help them, and that's why it's so important to share your story, because in the process of doing so, you're building your authority.
Yeah, Michelle, what types of clients do you work with?
We work with entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, people that are, founders, that they're in the process of building something. Maybe they haven't hit it, the big time quite yet. They're in the process. And we really want to talk to the people that are on the journey so that they can share lessons learned, what's working, what's not working, and helping us to all learn from each other, and getting clarity on their stories is also a big part of what we talk about.
Yeah. How do books specifically, because again, I know one of the things that you'll help folks with is, is it and specifically about the book? What's your role there? And then I'm curious about, if we're looking at, year 2022 and beyond, the role of having a book and the role of books in this age and beyond here.
Yes. Well, look, we love content, right? Otherwise Google wouldn't be the largest search engine, but we're all seeking information, and everyone knows something that they can share with someone else, again, personally or professionally. So when you get it out there, you are helping a lot of people, but you're also building that authority. I think in 2022, we are in a world now of, people love podcasting. They love training, they love books. And so it's taking your message and getting it out in multiple ways. So part of figuring out your story, it's not just about writing a book, although that is, I think, one of the easiest ways to build your platform, but it's about getting clarity on your story. And then how can you leverage that in many different ways so that you can, attract the right people, grow your business, differentiate from competition, et cetera.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So Michelle, tell me about the types of guests that you're going to be having conversations with on this show.
Yeah. So again, they're leaders. They're people that are are in the process of building a business or they've built a business, entrepreneurs, those consultants. It could be people but they're on a mission, right? They're on a mission to serve other people, but they have a bigger why beyond just a business, beyond just making money. Look, it's a means to an end, right? And so we are talking to people that have 6, 7, 8-figure businesses. But what I really want to know is what's the why behind it? What's your backstory? That's my favorite thing to ask someone. How did you? It's important to know what you do and all, but I want to know how you got there, because I think there's a lot of us that are still in that journey and trying to grow a business or try to figure out, how do we make a bigger impact in the world? And so I love talking about people, how they got there, what started it, what ignited it, and what keeps them doing it.
Yeah. And so if we think about the listener who's about to hit subscribe because they don't want to miss any episodes, I'm curious about the transformation that you would expect that if someone were to listen to, say, 10, 20 episodes of this show, what kind of transformation, or what might they be inspired to do as a result of learning from the conversations that you have with your guests?
So the conversations are all about like why they started their business and what really drove it. And so learning, I think that we can all learn from each other. I know certainly when I share my story, I don't talk about all the good things that happen. I talk about the challenges. So those who are trying to build a business, learning some ways to do it that maybe it's a little bit different than you were thinking. So that's one of the ways. But I think too, we're all just people. And when you hear stories of people who maybe they didn't come from a great background, or maybe they don't have a ton of resources, but yet they were able to make something happen, I think that inspires us. The big shift with the podcast, though, I will say is, I love authors. I create authors with our business, but I really want to talk to people who maybe they haven't done that yet, because I want to help them to see that their story can go beyond maybe how they're using it today, and how much we all love story. And that's how we learn, it's how we grow, and it's how we are inspired.
Yeah. All right, Michelle, and you are actively looking for guests too. And so who would make a really great guest, someone that you could celebrate on this podcast to your audiences?
Yeah, well, obviously a successful business person, leader, founder, but more importantly, somebody that's on a mission. There's something bigger, a calling, possibly. There's a bigger why behind it. That I love talking to people like that. I don't want to necessarily talk to people who have been there, done that. They got the T-shirt. Those that are in the process still. If you've written a book, that's great. I love authors, but this show is really for people who maybe haven't made that leap yet. And
they've got the story. The book is all up here. It's in their head, and those untold stories that's exciting.
Yeah. So people that, if anyone has ever told you that, wow, you should write a book, or gosh, I would love to learn from you, or can I pick your brain? Those are pretty good clues that you should be getting your story out of your head and onto paper. And so those are the people we want to talk to.
Yeah. Fantastic. So your website, michelleprince.com. So either at the top or the bottom, you'll find a link that will say podcast. You click on that, and that'll take you to obviously the podcast page where you can subscribe everywhere you need to, but also on that page, there will be a link that will say, want to be a guest? Click here. And then that's where they can see exactly who you're looking for, and they can schedule an interview. Awesome. Michelle, This has been fantastic. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for having this platform. And I'm looking forward to the stories that you'll be able to share on this show.
Thank you, Josh. I'm excited too. This is going to be a great year, and can't wait to spotlight some incredible people.
To our listener right now, go ahead and find where you can click on, maybe it's a little plus icon, or it'll say subscribe or join or follow or whatever. Click on that in your podcast app right now, and then you can make sure that you won't miss any episodes. Michelle Prince, congratulations on episode 1, as we say, in the can.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks, Josh. Thanks so much for listening to the Power of Authority Spotlight. If you're a successful founder, entrepreneur, business owner, or leader that's getting results and making a difference, and you'd like to be on this program, please visit us at go.michelleprince.com/podcast-guest to apply. That's go.michelleprince.com/podcast-guest. Also, if you got something out of this interview, please share this episode. Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on the socials. If you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag #ThePowerOfAuthoritySpotlight. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content, so make sure you don't miss any episodes by subscribing. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more? Go to our website, michelleprince.com or performancepublishinggroup.com or find me on social media. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.